Okay, so starting off, I'd like to say my nickname is Brooke, but I prefer to be called Hawa. Hawa is my given name. It's an Israeli name. It's Hebrew, and it means Mother Earth. And I believe that I do have a lot of qualities of that because I genuinely love people, you know, and I want to bring out the best in everybody because everybody to me is a winner. Everybody, you know. And there was a time when I didn't know that I possessed winner qualities, you know. And so that's what I desire to do, is to help people bring out their best selves, you know. Okay, so let's talk about goals. Yes, now. Who in here has goals? Anybody? That's more than half people. Okay. Does anybody want to volunteer and say what one of their goals are? Just one. Yes.
Graduate college.
Graduation.
So like
Okay.
get an internship this summer.
Oh, that's good. Anybody else? Yes.
Into a master's program in entomology.
That's after you graduate?
Yeah.
Oh, great. I love your haircut. It's bold. Look at that. Can you stand up here for a minute? Oh my God. Look at this. Woo! Now that's bold. I love it. I love it. Abby.
Awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so I wanted to talk about goals because the first thing that we need to accomplish, to learn that we need to reach our goals, is to identify ourselves, okay? So I did a little bit about self-awareness. Was anybody here last week, last Wednesday, or wasn't here last Wednesday when we talked about, anybody in here that doesn't know what self-awareness is now? So everyone knows what self-awareness is, the awareness of the self. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to start with the reason why I got into self-awareness is because I had to gain control of my emotions. I wasn't aware that when people walked past me and they looked down on me, that I saw that as a reflection of myself. So I would take that on as a part of who I believed that I was. And so once I gained self-control of my emotions, I realized that that's why my life was going up and down, because emotionally, anything that happened to me outside of me, I became affected by. So I started to figure out, I was like, wait a minute. Why am I being affected by something that has nothing to do with me? Something that's completely out of my control. So what is it that I can control? Then I realized the only thing that I can control is myself. So that's when I started realizing I'm not going to allow other people's opinions of me to affect me, or the outcome of something that I've set forth, you know, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I'm not going to let it affect my emotional state. I'm going to keep seeing the end vision of my goal, because this is what I want to accomplish. And I have to become that person who's strong enough to walk through it, to consistently believe that whatever it is that I set out to attain, no matter what is in front of me, it will still happen. I had to still believe. I had to still keep walking. I had to still keep shutting certain things down and saying, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside of me. I'm going to reach my goal. So, and I am just sweating here. Oh my goodness. Okay, can anybody tell me one thing that they could do starting right now or even tomorrow morning to change something inside of them to make them more disciplined to reach their goals? One thing.
Go to sleep early.
Go to sleep early.
Yeah.
That's good. It's unfinished though. Even if you go to sleep early,
What is everything? Wait.
what time are you waking up? Well, if you already go to sleep early or late and you wake up late, then what's going to change? What can you do exactly? So we're talking about things to become disciplined by, right? So self-control, things to become disciplined by. These are some of the things that I started. I got out a calendar and I decided that I was going to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. So I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I said my prayers, and then I decided to get on YouTube and look at some things that helped me become more self-aware. So I became aware of whether I had eye contact with people, whether I was intimidated by someone because how much money they had, how tall they were, how good looking they were, how they reacted to me. I paid attention to my emotions. Remember, I got control of my emotions. So I paid attention to my emotions. And once I paid attention to my emotion, it was easier for me to realize that I'm being affected by things that are happening outside of me. So I started to do that, and that was really fun for me, just finding out, about self-awareness and setting goals for me. I had to at night pay attention to what my intentions. When I go to sleep, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock. I made my intentions to do that. So being organized as well. Being organized as well was another thing. Making my intentions to be organized. Is there anything anybody in here feels like that they could do to be a little bit more organized in their morning or in their day? What? Who? Yes.
Yeah, I need to stop, obsessing over Snapchat in the morning.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, what could you do to program your mind to stop doing that in the morning?
Set goals.
Not do it by phone, just set goals.
Yeah, that's easy to say, but it's not easy to do. Anybody else?
Set short-term goals.
Short-term goals? Who said that? Like what? What would be one short-term goal that you would set for tomorrow morning?
For tomorrow morning, waking up early.
Waking up early? Then what would you do after waking up early?
Do something productive.
Like what?
Like finishing my submission or something.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. Yes.
Go out for a run, maybe.
What is it?
Go out for a run.
For a run?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the reason why I rode my bike today, because I felt like I didn't get my exercise in. I've been studying and doing other things and working. Okay. So that my time, you have to keep my time. Remember my time. Okay, so also self-love, waking up and actually looking yourself in the eye in the mirror and talking to yourself. I'm confident, I am beautiful, I am bold, I am courageous. I love myself. I approve of myself. I forgive myself. I am determined to win in this life. And if there's something that you are passionate about and you're not in school for it, learn about what you're passionate about. If there's some music, if you sing, if there's, something more that you'd like to learn, how the brain works, how your organs work, how you breathe, what you need to get your brain more oxygen, learn about it with a passion. And once you learn about it with a passion, once you learn about it with a passion, it's easy to become disciplined anyway. Okay, and then the last thing, because my speech was on, am I using the stage? I forgot. But the last thing about leadership is we cannot lead anyone unless we can lead ourselves, And if we can't lead ourselves in being disciplined, then how can we actually be just? What are our characteristics, Who are we deciding to be? I can be as cool as I want, I can punch my hand, put my hat on backwards. It's not gonna change my character. I'm gonna be just, I'm gonna be fair, I'm gonna be loyal, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be trustworthy. These are the characters I choose to be. And there's no friend and there's no influence that's gonna make me say, this is not who I want to be, So I guess that's my topic. That was my topic. Goals was the topic. So basically, let me close out. When it comes to goals, first learn to discipline ourselves. And while we're in school, we know we're gonna graduate. So what can we do to become a better version of ourselves while we're in school? They may call you the teacher's pet, but go study whatever, watch a video on something that you're learning, and go talk to the teacher about it. He or she will be so influenced, you're just gonna fly through. They'll give you an A just because, Learn how to build relationships. Hey, how are you? How's your kid? Don't be like, huh? What? Take the breath away. Be passionate, be genuine, be sincere about it. Transform who you are from the inside, and people will see you differently. And when you decide to walk in your leadership and reach your goals, you're going to put a target on your back because you're going to be different. You're going to stand out. Are you keeping my time? So this was definitely about goals, and one of my goals is to conquer myself and my speech, writing, and to be able to help people see themselves in a brighter light so they can become the best version of themselves and attain the billionaire status that they deserve, because now millionaire is the new middle class. I need y'all to know this.